think I got a good picture
Oh, I got it. If
live.
you want a different picture, I got the
Uh, that's okay. I like the one I posted.
thumbnail. Okay. I will email it to myself afterwards. All right. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. Get started. Three, two, and one. Hello and welcome to the Wise Guys Podcast. I'm your host, Brady Fitzgerald, joined as always by my co-host, Chris Hagan.
How you guys doing?
Doing well, Chris. I actually, before this pod, I don't know, I want to bring this up first. I don't know if this is a sad thing or a good thing, but like I completely forgot the Pats were playing on Sunday. Just had no
You
idea.
forgot that they were.
Like I forgot they even existed, honestly. Like I was just like Thursday night was like their funeral. Like I was just like, this is and
Last Thursday night was their funeral.
yeah, last Thursday
But
night. And I just didn't like they're not gonna beat the Niners. I don't have any hope that they're gonna beat the Niners. Even if the Niners are flat on their face. I'm saying is I'm winning yet again because they can lose and I won't care, and if they win, I'm gonna be pleasantly surprised.
so at what point did you realize that you had forgotten that the Pats were going to play?
It was after I
Because
made all the
you had
wise
to.
picks. I made all the
See,
wise
okay.
picks. I'm looking at the board, and I'm sitting there like I'm putting on clothes for the day. I guess after the wise picks. That's how you can tell how productive my morning was. When you work online, it's like, come on, like I'm just getting changed at like
Yeah,
one
that's
p.m.
fair. Yeah.
But anyways, I look at my Pats like T-shirts, and I was like, oh, they play the Niners on Sunday, and I couldn't care less.
You forget who they played, or you just forgot that they were going to play a game
I forgot
altogether.
that they were gonna play on Sunday. Like I just thought they had a bye week.
Think they had a bye?
Yeah, like I just thought like they were just out of my mind. They were gone out of my mind. Um, and this it might be the last game before Drake May. So who knows?
Really? You think?
I
Oh,
don't know.
really?
I hope. It's funny though too. After seeing your Monday night performance, and I didn't want to tamper on your parade on Tuesday.
You jealous?
I was jealous. I was jealous.
Yeah.
Just because.
I didn't mean for that to be come off like I'm patting you on the head, like, oh, you jealous? Like,
That was the Sean McVay
genuinely,
though.
I like.
That was a Sean McVay little pat on the head. Oh, you a little jealous? Your QB didn't throw a dime on Monday night.
Well, your
Not
QB
fun.
hasn't played yet, so it's
Yeah.
not like if I was saying it to Bears fan, that would be different.
Yes. Yeah. 100%
Like
agree.
your QB could look like that. You
Yeah.
guys might be doing the best out of anybody.
That's the thing. And I just kind of want to have him sit forever. Patriots fans are bickering him for him to come out already. But I was getting a little jealous. So
Well, I don't know how you could observe what has happened. I guess it's tough because you don't really know what to do because there's the Bryce Youngs of the world, and then there's the guy who got picked right behind him.
yeah.
So I don't know. I was about to say how could you observe what we've seen recently with young quarterbacks and want him to get in right away? But I guess Stroud is
Yeah, but that's
massive
that's a
outlier
perfect
there.
that's a perfect play because there's so many bad young quarterbacks and they all flame out with their first team immediately. So this just
Mhm.
gives like an extra year, at least. Like even if they start him halfway through the season, it's like, there's gonna be excuses. Even if he sucks, it's not.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna think he's gonna be bad.
Yeah.
But it was nice seeing your boy Jaden playing it. I was getting jealous.
Thank you. Thank you.
That being said, I'm going 3-0 in the wise picks this week. I'm so prepared. I found out the best lines, and I have one of each. I was very proud of myself. I got a player prop, I got an over under, and I got a straight line. And I'm pumped. Let's get right into it. You ready?
An over, another over, and a favorite.
There you go. All right. You want to? All right. I got the first pick. I'll go first. The one I'm locking in first is the Steelers -1.5. Last time the Colts played Arthur Smith, Taylor Heineke was the quarterback, and they obtained 406 yards of offense with Taylor Heineke. Now it's Justin Fields. It is Najee Harris. It is George Pickens, and they're just gonna run the shit out of the ball.
Darnell Washington.
Yeah, Darnell Washington. The Colts are 31st in rushing. They allow 179 yards per rushing a game. Steelers are going to eat this up. They don't need Justin Fields to throw. The Colts are going to have to do a lot to contain. It's funny, like the line is only 1.5, and I think people were getting a little fishy, but the line is only 1.5. The Steelers do not blow people out. It's gonna be a 3-point game. So I think that's why the line's so low. I don't trust Anthony Richardson. I trust the Steelers defense at this point. So I'm not scared of this line. I'm going face first, Justin Fields. Let's go.
Every single point that you made is valid. Like I've been a Richardson doubter since before the season.
Yeah.
I think we both kind of admitted that we didn't give the Steelers defense enough credit coming into the year. Fields has exceeded expectations. You can run the ball down this Colts defense's throat. So the Steelers have no business losing this game. I just can't imagine them being 4-0. And that's what's holding me back.
But could you imagine
and there's
being
no there's nothing. I wasn't expecting it, but there's a difference for some reason.
Okay.
I don't know why. 4-0, it sounds like that's legit.
It's a quarter of the season. That's why.
4-0 team. Yeah, right. And they have not lost a game. I don't know if I can accept that because I still don't think they're that good.
See, I don't think they're that good, but I don't think the Colts are very good at all. They have a lot of injuries on defense. I think they just end up at 4-0. No DeForest Buckner in this game, so huge loss for them. I don't know what the injuries look like for the Steelers, but I know they don't have your guy Jalen Warren, the Maryland guy, right? No. There was another.
That was McFarland.
Yeah, I was gonna say that it was another Steelers guy, right?
Yeah.
So, I think that this defense and the kicking machine that is the Pittsburgh Steelers keeps up, and they win by 2 field goals here.
I can see that. And again, like there's literally nothing on the football field that tells me they're not going to win this game. It's just me. Like if you told me in a month ago from today, if you're like the Steelers will be 4-0, I would say absolutely not. It's possible.
Kenny Moore's out for the Colts, their best corner, and Kitty Payne, their best defensive tackle, is out, or defensive end. Not good. Not good looks.
Not good. Not good at all. I kind of like the under in this game. I didn't take it because watching the end of the Steelers game last week made me nervous, and I think they're going to be able to move the ball against the Colts. So, and you never know with Richardson. So I stayed away. But yeah, I mean, unless there's something fishy going on, I don't like this should not be a 1.5 point spread.
No, I 100% agree.
There's some fishy lines.
There's some fishy lines. There's some really fishy lines.
I jumped on a couple of them.
Yeah, I was gonna say you jumped on one, but there's definitely some fishy ones. You go ahead with your first one. I'm pulling up FanDuel for the rest of the books. Or the rest of the.
I actually hate this pick the more I think about it, but I have the Bears -3 against the Rams, and I don't like. Is this too early in the season to try to start like playing this game where I see a line that I don't understand, so I just take it? I guess it's a good test of that, I guess.
So
I don't understand
what's
this
the line?
at all.
Bears -3.
Bears -30. How could they possibly be favorites?
I don't know how they could possibly be favorites. I'm guessing they're in Chicago.
They're in Chicago, correct. The only thing I'm thinking is like we were ready to bury the Rams last week. And they had the kitchen sink game against the 49ers.
Yeah.
But like we were out on the Rams the NFL is so week to week that I'm trying not to get caught up in it, I guess.
Mhm.
Like, just because they won last week against the Niners and had an amazing comeback win doesn't
They also look
completely
like
change my
shit against the
outlook on the
Niners for
Rams.
30 minutes.
Yes, for 3 quarters.
Yeah.
Well, 2.5 quarters maybe. I don't love this Bears team, but at some point, I think they're gonna look like they started to look competent on offense.
Keenan Allen's
There
coming
were
back.
bad plays. Keenan Allen's coming back, but like Odunze,
Coming
finally big
back.
game. Caleb, I know, had some rough throws, but still threw for like what 350 yards or something like that.
Yeah.
I think they'll be able to do that against the Rams. And I think the defense is really good.
I'm a big fan of
So
the Bears defense. I like the Bears defense a lot. I think Montez Sweat
they haven't
can
played at
get
home in a couple weeks too. I think that'll
homecoming.
rejuvenate them a little bit. Yeah,
I like the
after
kitchen sink
back-to-back
game.
L's.
As you said, everyone's in on the Rams. They just beat the Niners in a comeback win. They got their kitchen sink game last week.
Exactly. That's more so what I'm thinking. It's like we buried this Rams team, pulled out a win. Like it kind of similar but with the Panthers, honestly.
There's a lot of would it help or hurt that there's if you look at the Bears website and they have like picks, the Athletic picked the Bears. Almost everyone from the Athletic picked the Bears. Chicago. I mean, I guess that makes sense. Got in the Chicago Times.
I saw when I looked at NFL.com, a lot of them were the Rams.
Okay, here we go.
NFL.com
Yeah.
has the most square picks ever, though. They just
Yeah.
all take the favorite. Although the Bears are favorites, that's what makes a difference.
Chris Sims picked the Bears. I think that's a good sign. Chris Sims
I
normally knows
trust
what
Chris
he's talking
Sims,
about.
yeah. But he knows quarterbacks. I don't know if he knows like
Games, yeah.
everything else.
I like Keenan Allen's coming back. I think that's going to help out the offense a lot. He's going to be open in the middle of the field to help out Caleb Williams. Kind of be like a safety net where DJ Moore is a home run hitter and Roma Dunze is a rookie. Cole Kmet, then they've been able to. He's the tight end 3 right now in fantasy, and he's been chugging along, so they can hopefully keep that going. I like that. I like where their offense has been going the past 2 weeks. They need to put it all together. I think they all get fired if they don't put it together by the next 2 weeks. So a kitchen sink game's coming.
You think they'd fire guys mid-season?
I think if the offense continues to look this bad, you have to think about it. That Shane Waldron guy has just been awful for the Bears. And you can see how much a play caller
make me nervous.
changes everything. Yeah, it does make me a little nervous. They need to win this game. I do think. Maybe they don't get fired within the next 2 weeks, but if they continue to struggle, there's going to be a fire.
I mean, they might all be gone in the offseason.
I think they are all gone in the offseason. I think it's already a nail in the coffin there.
3 games into the season, we're already firing them.
I would be. I think all the Bears.
That's what I mean.
I think all in Chicago, the Bears fans are.
Well, that's what I'm saying though. Like it's 3 weeks into the season, and everyone's already saying like, "Oh, by the end of the season, they're done." Like, we have 14 games to play.
Yeah, I like the mindset. I like the pick. I'm not disagreeing with you.
I didn't think they should have even kept him around to begin with. I thought they should have fired him in the offseason. I thought they should have wiped the slate clean. But
I think we talked about this.
I'm not ready to just. Probably did, yeah. I'm not ready to fire him after 3 games. That's all.
Okay, that's fair. Let's a kitchen sink game at home, 1 p.m. You know, some with the LA time. Actually, it's noon in Chicago, right? LA time's got to be messed up there. Yeah. All right, I like it. I like it a lot. Let's go. Next pick I have Bills Ravens over 46. Marlon Humphrey. The couple notes I've gotten is that Marlon Humphrey's been pretty bad this year. Apparently, his passer rating when thrown to him is 123.9. Josh Allen has only been sacked. Josh Allen has only been sacked twice this season. The Bills' defense is missing. Their run defense is 22nd in the league. They're missing Teron Johnson, Terrell Bernard, and Matt Milano. All guys needed to stop Derrick Henry. So I like the matchups. I think that the Ravens rush defense or rush offense is going to excel in this game, and I think the Bills are going to be able to pass all over the yard. Hopefully, and it's an exciting Sunday night game. The overs have always killed us this season so far, but I have faith that the Bills will be able to get the over, and the Ravens. I think both of them will score a lot of points. I kind of like the Bills. I think they're -2.5. So
No,
I
I think the Ravens are -2.5.
really, all right. I got to get FanDuel up. Every time I keep pulling it up, it keeps taking me to log in, and I can't log in.
Yeah, Baltimore Ravens. Wait. Yeah, -2.5. That was another one that caught my eye. I was like, how could the Ravens be favored in this game? With how good Buffalo's looked.
They've looked like the hottest team in the NFL. The Ravens
Yeah.
have struggled in these games, but have scored a lot of points in every game that they've played.
Yeah, I definitely do not hate that over.
Yeah, 46. I didn't think I thought it's funny when you look at a game like this, you expect like a 49.5 over under. I feel like we're getting 3 points here because the NFL has been down so low.
Yeah, the Ravens defense is not what it's looked like.
No, they and their pass rush has been good. I'm sure if Ethan's in the comments, he's screaming about Kyle Van Noy. Looks like he's not here today, but Kyle Van Noy's been amazing. But their pass defense has been the problem, and I think Buffalo's going to be able to tear that apart.
I mean, they haven't shown anything so far that says they wouldn't.
No, and Josh
Like
Allen's come
they
out.
objectively look like the best team.
Yeah, and Josh Allen's come out and he's talked about how the players that he's throwing to don't care about stats. He's thrown to 5 different receivers, 4 different times. That's an efficient offense that knows what they're doing,
Yep.
and is putting the right personnel where it needs to go. Yeah, I like Buffalo +2.5. Like that a lot. I wish their money line was a little bit higher, but it makes sense. They're only +2.5.
I can't wrap my head around how Baltimore's a favorite.
I guess 'cause it's at home.
Yeah, but even so, like 2.5 points, like you're basically saying that they're even teams on a neutral site.
Yeah, that's. I
How
mean,
could
I
that
would
be?
say that. I would say let's see.
Really?
Yeah, let's see how it runs out. I know the Ravens fans are going to be hating on us, so I'll defend them a little bit. I still think that they're an elite
Oh yeah.
offense.
Well, what's my title now?
Oh, you're Stephen A. Chris. According to Ravens fans, you're Stephen A. Chris. Well, Ravens fans, it's funny. There's two very different There's the two that are on the pod or that talk to the pod the most are two very different Ravens fans. I feel like Lambert and Ethan are two different ones. But Ethan gets mad.
What, just like hate everything Ravens fan, and then
yeah, and like a little more
really
positive
optimistic
Ravens fan. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I'm sure Ethan's crying if he's listening to us right now. But I do think that they're a high-powered offense. I think their defense is suspect. That's why I don't like them against the Bills, but I think they'll be fine the rest of the season. And I love the over.
Yeah. All right. My next pick, I'm taking the Falcons -2.5. I've liked the Falcons in every single game that they've played so far. They've only covered one of them, 1 and 2. But I think I don't know what it is about this team that I like. Maybe it's Kirk Cousins, and he just left from Minnesota.
You've been following
I just followed
Kirk.
him.
Yeah.
Which, now that I say that out loud, I think that's exactly what happened. But I think that this is a good football team. I don't think they should be 1 and 2.
I agree.
They should have beaten the Chiefs. They shouldn't have looked that bad against the Steelers. I don't know. I just don't trust the Saints. I think after that last week, I'm starting to lean towards those first 2 weeks were a bit of a anomaly.
Yeah.
We're not going to see something like that again. I don't think they can do it in Atlanta. I could be dead wrong, but I'm reverting back to the beginning of the season too, and I thought that Atlanta was the clear best team in this division, and the Saints were poopy. And and I think I'm just gonna stick with that for another week and see how it goes.
I like it. I mean, I'm gonna go against Derek Carr, so I'm gonna be on your side here.
That's true.
I think
Who
the
was it?
Saints.
Was it C.J. Gardner Johnson that was saying the thing about
Yes, it was the greatest quote ever.
Derek Carr not going anywhere?
Greatest quote ever after the Eagles beat the Saints.
So
He's
mean.
like, don't matter how high powered their offense is. Remember, they'll always be pretenders because they got Derek Carr as their quarterback.
Yeah. So
I want that as a flag to post. Like we can hang it on the wall. I think I need that because I'm right in there with C.J. Gardner Johnson.
the number one Derek Carr hater.
And
I don't like this is a straight gut pick.
I like it. So the
Like,
Falcons.
I can't picture the Falcons going 1-3.
The Falcons are fired up. They're wearing their red uniforms. All
Yes.
yeah, they're wearing their
Oh,
red.
that's huge. I didn't even know that. That's
The red
huge.
helmets, the red throwbacks. They're fired up. They've looked good. Their offense has been humming. Sneaky Daryl Mooney he's like good. Like, I like Daryl Mooney. I think he's really good. Drake London has looked good. And they got Kyle Pitts. They got Kyle Pitts a touchdown in their past 2 games. Bijan Robinson's been doing his thing. I do like this against the Saints. I think the Saints slow down. I think if they don't get a couple Shaheed touchdowns, that they're gonna end up kind of like they were last week, where they're fumbling around for a little bit. They're a team that needs to start out hot. So we'll know early if this team.
I think we will.
Yeah, I think we'll know by what is this, a 1 p.m. game? We'll know by by
I think all my picks
1:45.
Or no, I have 1:45.
We'll know by 1:45 if this is good or not.
Yep, agreed.
And it's interesting, like this Clint Kubiak thing. It'll be interesting to see if he gets figured out within 2 weeks. Like it's him, really.
Pretty quick, yeah.
Like it's not the players,
Yes,
it's
him.
him. So
No,
let's
it's
see
all
if
the
they
same
could-
players. That's why we hated him to begin with.
Exactly. So let's see if the Falcons can bring pressure to Derek Carr. That seems like his kryptonite. And I think they can. I think Judon's gonna play well. I think he played well against the Eagles and who else? The Chiefs. I like this for the Falcons. I think they got to get fired up after that Chiefs loss on Arthur Blank Day. Like they got to get fired up.
Why did he do Arthur Blank Day when they were playing the Chiefs?
We didn't talk about that. Very hilarious. No, very hilarious. Arthur Blank Day. Last Sunday, if you were watching the Sunday Night Football, you might have noticed that they were celebrating the great owner of Arthur Blank, and they being Arthur Blank's organization. I really just want to think, and I know it's not true because they hire probably 10 people to run their social media account, but I really just want to think, like, the thank you Arthur Blank post was posted by him, like, on the toilet. That would be so funny. It would just be hilarious. Like, he's just like sitting there and he's like, all right, time for everyone to thank me. Bam. It'd be hilarious.
I mean, the whole night was basically him doing that. He put his name in the Ring of Honor that he owns.
Yeah, the Ring of Honor that he owns, that he submits his players to. It's his Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
In his stadium. I will say they gave out free souvenir cups to every fan and 2 free hot dogs.
And they did
just
kind of hot dogs.
So I thought it was free. I think every fan got free hot dogs.
Oh, were they free? I mean, that's huge.
That's a good job by you there, Arthur Blank.
Oh yeah.
We have MVP Car Chance by my guy James in the chat. He's still holding on to Clint Kubiak and MVP Car.
It's like a week late there.
We'll see though. We'll see. Hey,
now that the casual NFL fan, well, not casual, the sheep NFL fan is now saying Sam Darnold for MVP.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be Brock Purdy
next week.
I think you should bet Brock Purdy. I think we talked about this earlier, and you were right. I think you should bet. Brock Purdy.
He was my pick.
Yeah.
For preseason.
I don't know if Derek Carr's MVP train has to start back this week though. All right, what else do we got? I got my prop bet. My prop bet of the week. Very excited about this one. I don't know how the line's this low. Andy Dalton over 227 passing yards. Give me that. They're facing the Panthers, or they're facing the
Are
Bengals.
you're not worried at all that like he's gonna come crashing back down to earth?
No, I'm not worried at all. The
His
red
Bengals
rifle,
defense is pretty ass.
the red rifle, revenge game. He's looked good every time he's played on the Panthers. He looked amazing last week. I'm in. I'm all in. I don't think this Bengals defense is good at all. We just saw your team not punt against them at all. To be fair, they also didn't punt against you at all.
It was bad,
but their defense was very bad. Their defense got torched by the Chiefs as well. I like Andy Dalton here. Even if this was my almost Panthers pick. I almost picked the Panthers.
You almost took the Panthers? I love Cincy this week.
And I almost took the over. So this was kind of like my mix of both.
Okay.
So I got just Andy Dalton.
Andy Dalton passing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I don't hate that. I could also see them getting down early and then like they have to throw the ball.
That's the other thing. It's like they're either going to lose a lot and have to throw, or it's going to be a baller game and it's because Andy Dalton's slinging the rock. And I could take either one, but I think that I think 230 passing yards, that's all he needs. Andy Dalton's a vet. It's easy.
I don't hate it. It's straightforward.
Yeah, I like it a lot. No.
Like if you're losing this pick, like you're going down with it. You're going down with the man.
Mm-hmm.
Going down with the red rifle.
Yeah.
Which is a respectable way to go down.
Yeah, and it's
for whatever that's worth.
It's so funny. It's not even funny, honestly. Just I honestly feel bad for Bryce Young. Have you seen all the locker room videos?
Oh, I feel so bad.
He's just like they're all like excited and happy because they won a friggin' football game, and Andy Dalton's like their hero, and he just like they need to trade him ASAP just so he doesn't have to sit in the locker room every week.
I know.
And listen to that.
It's so sad.
Like the guy's got to be like,
who would trade for him? Do you think?
Maybe maybe the Dolphins, if Tua's out, like out.
I don't think he's an upgrade over anyone that they have.
I don't know who trades for him.
Because they're trading for him as a project, not to come into play.
No, yeah.
Not the Eagles.
But like, what do the Eagles want with him? He's never gonna take over for Hurts.
Sit behind. I don't know.
It's weird. It's like you want him to go to the Vikings, ideally.
Why?
Give him with see
what
what
have a quarterback who's waiting.
Yeah, but I get that, but like that's why I said ideally, because you have Kevin O'Connor, you have this offense, you just saw that Sam Darnold was able to do this. The Packers now have 2 quarterbacks. I don't know. I saw some things about the Rams that didn't make any sense to me.
I could see that.
Maybe if Herbert's hobbled for a while, but again, you don't want him to start right away. System. Hell, what about the Browns?
Yeah, you play Heineke over him. That'd be interesting.
That would definitely be interesting. Or the Titans would be brutal. They would just
no,
yeah, the Titans would be brutal. I think the Browns would be the only way. Like if he gets traded this season.
Yeah, I like the Browns.
I think the Browns would be the only way to go. What about the Seahawks? Seahawks would be. They just got Howell too, so they don't.
They had Howell. Yeah,
they don't want him. All right, I think the Browns is the way to go, but they need to get rid of him.
I think the Browns just get rid of Watson, start Winston, and then have Bryce Young as the backup of him.
Yeah, I think that's the way to go.
That's the perfect situation.
Anyways, Andy Dalton, over 227 passing yards. Riding down with the ship. I'm riding with the locker room here, and I'm riding with the red rifle.
All right, my last pick, also a player prop, sticking to the system that has done me well for 2 weeks in a row, and that is identify the best receiver on the team the Washington Commanders are playing, and that's Marvin Harrison Jr. His over-under is at 69.5. I think he goes for 100. I'm excited about my football team.
Yeah.
That does not mean I'm going to stop making this bet.
No, I don't think you should stop either.
This bet has hit at halftime 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
Like they haven't even been close. So, yeah, as long as he's healthy, which he's been questionable this week, didn't really deter me that much. But
He'll be fine.
I will look into that. Okay, yeah, no concern about the quad.
He'll play. He'll be fine.
If he ends up getting ruled out, I'll have to make an emergency wise pick
Greg
that
Dolch
day.
over yards.
I told you right. Yeah, whoever's next in line.
Yeah, Michael Wilson over yards.
I think Michael Wilson is the next guy that. I was reading about it earlier, like fantasy guys to watch for this week.
Mike Wilson was there.
They're basically just like, who's going to be lined up against Ben St. Juice? I think it was Michael Wilson.
So,
and St. Juice is their best corner. Forbes is going to play.
Oh God, he's back.
I would take that if Forbes just like had a lockdown day.
That'd be awesome.
I would gladly sacrifice this wise pick, but I can't. Like, how many times can I convince myself that maybe Forbes just needs more time? He's just not good.
No, he's too skinny.
Like, he's very bad.
He's too skinny.
I don't think he's too skinny. I think he just sucks at football.
That could be it. I mean, both could be it. I like the Commanders here. Going revenge game for Cliff. Going
for Cliff and Kyler though, because they didn't like each other.
That's true. But Cliff's going into town.
Cliff's a man though.
Yeah. They just came off a hot Monday Night Football win. Best win in 20 years.
12 years.
12 years. They got to ride this momentum. The Cardinals' defense sucks. Commanders' defense sucks. The Cardinals, though, they have the worst defensive ends in the league. Like, in the league. So I think Jane Daniels and Brian Robinson will be able to run all over this defense.
You think they're better than Dante Fowler Jr. and Lawrence Armstrong and Jamin Davis?
Okay, maybe
these guys aren't very good.
It might be the worst two defenses in the league going up against each other.
It might be. Which is why I initially had the over. You talked me out of it a little bit, which I'm happy that you did, because I don't like to bet on my team.
Yeah. And
I felt like even the over was getting a little bit too close.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm asking them to do something good. So glad you talked me out of it. I still like it.
I still like it too. It's just 49. It's a lot of points. Some things could go wrong. It could be a fishy game. But I think the it's, if you're looking for another pick in this game, I think the over is the way to go, because I wouldn't trust Washington, as you said, but I wouldn't trust the Cardinals either. So I don't like either of the point spreads. I like the over. I like the yards. I think it's gonna be a sit back and enjoy the game. If you have the yards, you can sit back and enjoy it and not stress too much.
I will not be sitting back.
No, you'll be sitting forward.
He's probably standing up. I didn't sit down for the whole fourth quarter.
I
had like 1,000 steps in that game. Just like pacing around.
That's pretty impressive.
Good to be back. Yeah.
I think there's a world where the Commanders could blow them out. No Trey McBride.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, no McBride. They're not going to be able to get stops.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially against a quarterback who can move.
Yeah, we were talking about the defensive ends. I guess both.
They can't stop the run. It's a good running back.
Both teams have the same weaknesses.
There's nothing working in their favor. Yes.
Interesting. So this should be a lot of fun.
I think it'll be fun.
Yeah.
I hope so.
I agree. All right. What other games we got to talk about? Jags, Texans. Everyone in the world is picking the Texans. Kind of wants me to take the Jags. I don't trust.
I was kind of feeling that too. I can't. They might just be so down in the dumps though, and the Texans could use like a punching bag this week. After last week, they might beat them by 20.
That's how I'm feeling about this game too.
Jags are a disaster.
They are a disaster. It'll be interesting to talk about first coach fired. What happens with Doug if this run continues?
Yeah.
I mean, the Jags kitchen sink game was last week, right? They couldn't fall 0-3, and they just got pounced. There's no kitchen sink involved.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, they got beat so badly. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they soiled their seat. Like week one was that like the ETN fumble was the end of the season. That was in the third quarter of a week one game.
I know they haven't been able to
Vibes
recover
have just
from
been
that.
off
Yeah,
since then.
ever since then.
We got embarrassed and playing on a short week, back to back road games.
Yeah, I don't like it at all.
Not good. I'm staying away. I don't love -6.5, but I could definitely see a world where that point spread's triple.
Oh yeah,
You'll just outline Texans and
call it a day.
yeah.
Broncos Jets, another revenge game. Nat Hackett revenge game.
Man.
Do we? I think
I like the under in this game.
I like
But
the
Bo
under.
Nix had me a little nervous.
He was slinging it last week.
He was slinging it.
They, I don't know. I don't know if that was a fluke or what. I mean, they ran the ball efficiently though. Bo Nix didn't turn over the ball. That's the only way they win these games. No Bo Nix turnovers. They run the ball efficiently.
Yeah.
I don't know if the Jets can stop the run. I mean, they stopped against the Patriots, but the Patriots literally just they might as well have knelt every play of that game. Like there was just nothing. They weren't doing anything.
What was Ramondre's line again?
Ramondre's line was
21
like
yards, one fumble.
Yeah, 23 yards and a fumble.
3 yards. Apologies.
I don't think that means they can stop the run all of a sudden. The Jets need to get out. They need to get out early because clearly with this Broncos team, you could fumble if you get down 7. They can start running the ball and taking care of the ball. I think Rodgers looked good though against the Pats. I think he threw some pretty balls against the Pats. I think their offense is cooking up. I really like Braylon Allen.
Also, like teams with old quarterbacks on extra rest. I like too.
Yeah, I like that.
Mini bye.
Oh yeah. So I'd say stay away from the spread though. Take the under and Jets money line.
Okay.
I like that.
I would not. Yeah, I'm not even thinking. I'm not messing with money lines. So I'd just take the under.
All right. Packers versus Minnesota Vikings. Huge game.
Game of the week.
That's what people are saying.
Game of the 1 o'clocks.
Yeah, definitely game of the 1 o'clocks. I still think Bills Ravens is definitely got to be game of the week. But 3-0 Vikings going at the 2-1 Packers. Jordan Love's back. He should be playing this week. What do we think here? I didn't even see the line.
This one I have a similar feel with the Steelers, where like I can't imagine the Vikings being 4-0.
Yeah,
and you know I'm high on the Packers, so I wanted to take the Packers as a pick, and I couldn't bring myself to do it. I couldn't bring myself to pick against the Vikings.
What worries
like
me,
they would screw me.
What worries me about the Packers is, and I guess they did have a good Titans defense that they went up against, and they were just fine. But the Vikings defense has been really, really good, and just completely rattled Stroud last week. Had a bench for Davis Mills. Jordan Love coming off an injury, that worries me a little bit. 2 very smart head coaches, though. 2 very smart defenses, it seems like so far. Should be a fun matchup. I like the over 44. I like that.
Really? I was just thinking I like the under based on what you just said.
Yeah? I don't know. I think there's going to be a lot of scoring.
Well, really?
Justin Jefferson's getting 1. You know that. And
1.
Yeah, there's 1. But then the Packers are back. Jordan Love's back. They're going to be, and they threw it pretty well last week. I don't know.
I know the Brian Flores defense makes me question things because they shut down everybody.
Yeah, and they've smothered almost everyone they've played. The number 1 defense right now, I think, at least for fantasy. And oh man, stay away.
They've done it twice at home though, and once in New York. They have not had to go to Lambeau.
That's true, and New York does barely even counts.
Exactly.
So what do you like the Packers?
Oh, we didn't even talk about the game from last night. Well, yeah, I told you I like the Packers.
Okay. All right. All right. I like the Packers. I'll take that. They need a win. I think. I don't see the Vikings go 4-0. I like the over.
Exactly.
I like the Packers. But I think it's a stay away. I think just try to enjoy this game.
Agree. Yeah.
All right. What do we got next?
Eagles Bucks.
Yeah.
This one is the stay away of stay aways. I don't know what the hell to think. Over under spread. I have no clue.
I know both these
Yeah,
teams
I
can
think-
look amazing and both these teams can look trash. And what wins? So what's the revenge here? Is it like the Eagles? Are they pumped up to play them because they beat them in the playoffs last
They
year?
beat them in the playoffs.
Or are they like,
so
or the Bucks pumped up because like we stomped these guys in the playoffs last year?
Bucks also coming off a bad loss.
Yeah,
Means something.
yeah.
No, I don't know, dude. I'm staying far away from this game.
Yeah,
I
after the
these
Eagles-
these are two of like the 5 or 6 teams that I really have no idea what to think about right now. And you throw them in the same field, and I don't know what to do. I'd say usually in games like that, I would say just take the underdog, but it's plus 105. So
And I don't like I don't like the over under in this either because they screwed me last week, the Eagles. I thought they were a high powered offense that could keep scoring. I think that they're gonna be able to run the ball on the Buccaneers because the Broncos were able to do it a lot last week. I still don't know what their passing game's gonna be like. Is Jalen Hurts gonna fumble the ball and throw bad interceptions again? I'm not sure. Is Baker gonna throw bad interceptions and look like the Baker of last week or look like the one with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin going off? I don't know. Falcons line just moved to -3 as we're talking. Sorry. Yeah. Anywho, I agree with stay away. I don't like anything in this game. I don't even think it's gonna be a good game. I think it's gonna be sloppy.
that'd be nasty. Yeah.
Yeah. In Tampa, by the way, which just got nailed with a hurricane.
Hurricane.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting if they even end up being able to play the game. But I stay away. I completely agree. That's a stay away. I like Barkley's yards, whatever it is. I don't know what it is, but I think they're gonna run Barkley a lot like they always do, and I think he'll be just fine. All right, Pats 49ers.
So
Pats.
we covered this one.
Yeah, I guess we did. Pats are plus 10.5.
A lot of points.
That is a lot of points. 10.5 is a lot of points. I wouldn't touch it though. I wouldn't touch this game with a 10-foot pole. Is okay. I know I was very pessimistic at the beginning of the show. The Niners were they lost bad games. Lost to the Vikings. Lost to the Rams. I have no confidence in the Pats. I would go, even though the Niners are banged up. I would go with
Mini
them.
buy.
Mini buy.
Injured Niners team.
Mini
I don't
buy.
know, 10.5 is a lot, dude. That's a lot of points.
The thing is, I know the coaching staff didn't figure anything out in the mini buy. They were probably taking
No, not
vacation days.
like figure anything out, but just like you never rest.
They could rest for the whole season if they wanted to. There's nothing to rest for. All right. 10.5 is a lot of points, but I wouldn't touch it. Chiefs, Chargers. This is looking like the Chargers are just using this as a bye week. Everyone's injured for their team.
I don't hate the Chargers this week.
At what, +7 or money line?
I feel like they always yeah, +7. I think they get at least one game a year where they play them tough. If
They do.
Heineke's
You think
out
Taylor
there-
Heineke could do it though?
Heineke's he's beaten the Chiefs before. Or not beaten them. They beat the Bucks. Yeah, never mind. I think they played the Chiefs pretty close. Let's see. Team versus Chiefs. It's 24-14.
That's
Pretty
how I
close.
think that's how this game ends. 24-14. That's
Yeah, I
actually
guess they wouldn't cover.
that's a great score prediction right there. I don't think the Chiefs'
I can see
offense
that.
is going to look spectacular. Maybe a Travis Kelce boost game because Derwin James is out. He got suspended for a hit.
Yeah, I saw that.
So maybe a Kelsey get right game for all the fantasy managers that everyone's
Maybe.
all scared of. The
I
narrative
don't know
with
why I
the
even
Chiefs,
drafted them.
the narrative with the Chiefs are getting ridiculous. And I know we kind of did this on the pod, like what's up with the Chiefs, but like nothing's up with the Chiefs.
Yes.
They
They don't look great. It doesn't matter.
no, it doesn't
But that's
matter.
why I don't hate the injuries.
Yeah, I guess that's why +7 could be like they don't care about this game. Could win off a game-winning field goal.
Yes.
There's gonna be nothing but Chiefs fans there.
Yes.
Nothing but Chiefs fans.
How does Harbaugh handle that?
That's a good question.
Like going from Michigan and the 49ers
Yeah, like
to the Chargers, where like you basically don't even play any home games.
I mean, at Michigan, it was such an advantage. I wonder what it's like in the NFL now. How much of an advantage it really is. But in Michigan, it definitely was an advantage, and here it's just nothing for the Chargers.
Yeah. At least they're not playing in the soccer stadium anymore.
I always liked the Coliseum.
That was
Oh, that wasn't the Coliseum. That was the soccer stadium.
no, like
When they-
the actual soccer
Yeah.
stadium.
When the Rams played at the Coliseum, that was sick.
Yeah, that was cool. I liked that.
I watched the highlights. By the way, I do this like every 3 months randomly of the Chiefs Rams game.
The 54-51.
There's a 20-minute documentary on
Insane.
YouTube about it, and it like goes through like
Really?
and it like goes through all like all the players and like he got traded to the Chiefs at this point, and like this is like it's really cool. It's really cool.
That was almost a Super Bowl that year too.
Yeah,
And it was the Patriots. It was
yeah,
the
and then it was
Chiefs.
17-3, I think.
It's 13.
13-3, yeah, 13-3. All right. You like the Chargers. I'm gonna stay away. I don't hate the +100 for
I'm betting the
+7.
Chargers. I'm not gonna ever bet it. I won't bet against Mahomes once this season.
Fair enough. The game everyone can skip
can
in the
rip
later
off Tate.
afternoon.
I'm not gonna put my money where my mouth is.
What do you say?
I said I can rip off all the takes I want. I'm not gonna put my money where my mouth is against Mahomes. I already like the Bills to win the Super Bowl, but I'm like I can't even do it because I know.
You're betting against Mahomes, yeah.
Yeah.
That's when we need to bet the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl when the Bills beat the Ravens this week, and the Chiefs keep it close against the Chargers. That's when we need to bet them to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
All right.
I don't hate that.
Browns Raiders, the 4 p.m. you can skip. Do we have to preview this game? Like, does anyone care about this game? Is it AOC? Is
No.
it Gardner Minshew? Does
I think
anyone
we
know?
skip
Does anyone
it.
care? No Devontae Adams. That's really all the news I got for the game. And
Ravens still have the 5th best odds to win the Super Bowl, even though they're 1-2.
Ravens are good,
Is
man.
that weird?
They just had some bad games.
Just saying, it's a little weird.
It is weird. No, it's definitely weird. I just think that there's no like dominant team in the NFL besides the Bills right now.
It's really not. Yeah,
Like, who's the 10th best Super
Commanders
Bowl
are
odds?
outside the bottom 10. It would be the Vikings plus 25. And the Cowboys, Bengals. Bless you. Bless you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Goodness gracious.
I know I sound like a balloon popping on that one. Normally I mute myself. I apologize.
It's like
All right,
I
honestly,
also I bet Brock Purdy to win MVP during this conversation
okay.
like 10 minutes ago.
I like it. I think that. I mean, it's funny too. It looks like it might be Josh though. It might be Josh's year, but he's got like the highest
Yeah.
odds right now.
And 3. You know?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's only been 3 games. So Browns Raiders. We got anything else to say about this?
Forgot what we were talking about. No.
All right, neither do I.
Come on.
That's all I got. Titans Dolphins. If Skylar Thompson plays, I like the Titans. If not, I don't know.
want to watch. If Skylar Thompson plays, I'm so done with him.
I don't know what to do.
He's like, I hate so much. I'd rather see Tim Boyle.
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think the
Seahawks
Titans are
lines I
good,
like
though.
it more. I was just maybe.
Yeah,
I
you're
saw
just,
it.
you're just getting ready to move on.
I just screwed it. I'm moving past it.
I sneaky like the over in this game just to move on from it. I sneaky like 36.5.
A 36.5.
Yeah. I think everyone's going to pick it the
I believe
under. And
Pick six.
yeah, Will Levis pick 6.
You can see the Titans moving the ball. The Dolphins defense is not good.
No, the Dolphins defense isn't good. I think Hopkins had a touchdown last week. He played pretty good. I think the Titans can score some points here. So
I don't hate that.
I don't hate that either. All right, Seahawks, Lions. A lot of injuries in this game, but it's to two offsetting lines. The offensive line for the Lions are very injured, and the Seahawks defensive line is very injured. So I don't know what to do.
Just wash.
Yeah, I think that's a wash. I think that's an
Is
advantage.
Kenneth Walker playing? Because this could be just like a run it down your throat, both ends.
Let me look at Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Walker is limited again on Friday's practice, so is most likely out.
I didn't realize how bald his head was.
I didn't realize he was bald either.
Really bald.
I think he pulls off the baldness. Pulls it off well.
He does.
He had cool hair. If you look down a little bit, like he had some cool hair early on. He must have just went
Yeah.
Michael Jordan
Okay,
and
yeah.
shaved it off.
His hairline is too far back there.
Maybe he just knew it was time to go.
Yeah, I think so.
I wish he was playing. This Seahawks team's way more fun when he plays. The Lions.
Yeah, for sure.
The Lions they're introducing their black uniforms. So that should be interesting to see on Monday night.
Yeah. I'm feeling this.
I'm excited to see how they look on the field. It'll be weird to see them on the field.
We'll probably black out the stadium though, which would be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. I like the Lions. Again, I can't see the Seahawks being 4-0.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Lions need to get right game. Laporta hasn't been what we've wanted him to be. He's been injured though. They brought up Allen Robinson, I saw, which could that's not a good sign. But they do need that wide receiver 3 to replace Josh Reynolds. They tried to just basically replace him with Jameson Williams, and it's been iffy. Different skill set though, not as much as a safety valve, more of a home run hitter. So hopefully they figure out a guy to replace that for this game. They got Amon-Ra cooking last game. I think that their offense needs to shine. I think both offenses are going to look good. I mean, this is the Seahawks game, Seahawks-Lions game we talked about last year 100 times. It was 44-47. I hope we get one of those. The NFL needs one of those. So
last Monday.
Yeah, they got it last Monday. So let's keep ending the week with these nice games.
I like that, yeah.
So I like the over
for the first night, and then shootout for the second half of the doubleheader.
Yeah. Well, and it's the same thing as last week. The first game is super poopy. That's gonna it's probably gonna be a blowout in one way or the other. I like the over. I know that's kind of square, but I like the over, and I like the Lions.
No, I like the over too.
I like the Lions minus 3.5.
I agree.
I think they win. They need to take care of the Seahawks.
It would be funny if the Seahawks beat them again.
It would be.
Like
it would
2
be
years
funny.
in a row.
It would be pretty funny. All right, that's it. That's NFL Week 4 in the books.
Not a great week.
No, not a great week, but it has some makes ups for it. Like in the 1 p.m., you have the Vikings Packers, and you have Eagles Bucks should be a good game. Falcons Saints should be good. So you got at least 4 games there. And then one of the other games will be interesting. And then the 4 p.m. you got Commanders, which will be fun. The Chiefs always going to have the limelight. But at least you have that Commanders game. That should be fun. And then the night games are pretty
4 p.m. games are a wasteland.
Yeah, they really are. After the Commander, the 4:25 games are
49ers, Patriots.
Oh, I forgot.
Patriots without Herbert.
4:05. I thought they were.
It really is like Commanders Cardinals is like the game of the hour.
Yeah, it's definitely the game of the hour. It should. I think that makes up for it. But there are some poopy games here. Like there are some real poopy games. All right. Do we want to do some baseball, or do we want to wrap it up?
Oh, we can do some baseball. Do you want to hit on last night at all? That game?
Oh yeah. We can hit on last night.
Travesty.
Um,
Absolute travesty.
yeah, I'm back out on Devin Singletary. Messed up one of my bets. Back so out on him.
I thought Daniel Jones looked okay.
I thought he did look. I thought he looked
Not score
decent.
touchdowns.
They just couldn't finish drives. It was a lot like the. It was.
Yeah. It was exactly like the Giants Commanders game. They just flip flopped.
I was just gonna say it was Bizarro Commanders Giants, where they were the Commanders and they just couldn't finish drives. They just kept having field goals.
Yep.
And it's funny because like, I know people were. I saw some things today, like people were bitching that they kept kicking these field goals, but it keeps you in the game and it keeps you right there. Like they were in this game the whole time.
Yeah, they just needed like one.
They just needed one breakout play. Neighbors is this whole team.
Yes.
But
It's funny because like it felt like the Giants or the Cowboys contained him
yeah,
because he was almost never getting past the sticks. And then you look at his stat line and he had like 10 catches for 130 yards. Wait, what? Because
every
it
time
literally it's like him and Wandale Robinson was getting fed a lot too. And then like Darius Slayton sucks. That guy's
Yeah.
so bad.
he sinks.
And then they have no tight end, no one out of the backfield. And so like I feel like Daniel Jones had a couple decent throws, but like that's the best we'll see him look all year, honestly.
Yeah, and they couldn't get anything on the rushing attack, anything at all.
No.
And as you said, it's funny. Wandale Robinson is like their little Edelman. Just put drag routes to. And he catches them for 6 yards. And Neighbors is just Odell Beckham reborn. Like he's just like watching it is like watching the same guy out there. Same like you put him with number 13, and it's like holy shit.
Yep. Just give him the hair.
It's a shame that this guy's on the Giants.
Yeah. I mean, they might draft a quarterback next year.
Yeah, they might draft.
Hopefully they're just good enough to not get one of the top quarterbacks. That'd be perfect.
That would be hilarious. He
has in the last 3 weeks, this is his targets. 18, 12, 15. That's a lot.
That's
targets.
That is a lot. And
12 catches on 15 targets last night.
I can't believe I didn't draft him in fantasy. It seems so obvious.
Yeah, I got him in one league.
Like it seems so obvious now because like they had no one else to throw to, but I just didn't want Daniel Jones throwing my receiver.
God forbid, yes. Daniel Jones throwing to anybody on your team.
Exactly. And as you said, he hasn't looked terrible. I mean, he had a 72% completion percentage. He did have that interception. But is it time to apologize to Daniel Jones?
That's what I said last week.
I know. I told you to wait.
Still.
Yeah.
I still don't think so.
It is funny though that like it's almost gone under the radar that he's still starting football games.
Yeah, it's like everyone freaked out week 1. It was like, wow, he's so bad. Blah blah blah. And then just kind of casually played the last 3 games and he hasn't looked terrible.
Yeah. I guess that's why they're forced with him. Like that's why they're stuck with him. They have these games where he looks decent and they can possibly build around him. And then they have these games where he looks like Daniel Jones.
Yes.
Micah Parsons got hurt, right?
Everyone got hurt at some point. Literally everyone got hurt. And there's a flag on every play. And Al Michaels sucks. It was really a hard game to watch. Al Michaels
Marcus
just
Lawrence
like
is
he's too
expected
old.
to miss
He's
a couple
retired.
weeks. High ankle sprain by Michael
Okay, that was
Parsons.
another gripe that I had is when he was getting treated on the sideline, they were like zooming in on his foot, like just bare dogs out. I was
for
like,
Lawrence or Parsons?
Lawrence.
Ugh.
It's like all up on his feet. I was like, ugh, staring at the guy's toes. Get ready for bed.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, it was a weird observation that I had, but I didn't like it.
All right, Mike McCarthy thinks they'll both play this season, but he doesn't. He doesn't have a timeline for either one. Yeesh.
He said they'll both play this season.
Yeah. Yeah, not a good,
Great,
no, not a good quote.
great outlook.
CeeDee Lamb's also. It's funny when you look at like those first round wide receivers that are supposed to be these guys, and then they turn into those guys. It's like we should praise them more a little bit. Like CJ Lamb is just incredible, and he's their version of Malik Neighbors, and just catches everything
Yes.
and does everything
Yes,
for their
yes.
team.
It's you don't realize like how few receivers the Cowboys have.
Oh yeah, they got
Brandon
CeeDee Lamb,
Cooks
and
is their
that's
second guy.
it.
And
Would you say
Jake
it was the
Ferguson.
second guy? Yeah, yeah, Jake
Brandon
Ferguson.
Cooks.
Yeah, then it's guy like Cooks, which Brandon Cooks screwed my bet too. They could have passed him a couple more times. Jalen Tolbert. They got a guy from South Carolina who is I think is some Brooks, Jalen Brooks, who is also on their team. So that's not a good sign. Also, way too much Hunter Lepke. What the hell's up? What up with this?
Yeah, you didn't like that?
Like I like it, but it's like, all right, we're just gonna do like this. We're just gonna do. You think that's gonna help out the offense now? It's a little Taysom Hillish.
I liked them on the fourth down. I liked it.
The fourth down was cool. I'll give you that. A little Taysom Hillish though. It's like, all right.
Yeah.
Like, when he's out there, I think I know where the ball is probably gonna go. All right, let's go to baseball real quick. Run through. We'll do a funeral for the A's real quick. They're done.
Yeah. Did you watch any of the game yesterday? Sad. I watched the last couple of innings. It was cool to see the Coliseum sold out, I will say. And it was a little much on the post game. Like the guys were crying. I was like, all right, we're on TV. Let's take it easy. It's like it's a little off-putting. Not the crying's not like I'm all for crying. It's sad. Like if my team left, I'd probably cry. It was hard to watch. But yeah, it was. I'm glad that they won. And then like they did like a little not ceremony, but the manager like spoke to the fans on the microphone, and all the players just stayed on the field for a while. So it was cool. Really sucks. I mean, that's it. Like that was their last team.
Yeah, Oakland's done for.
Done now. So I can't even imagine what that would be like.
No, it's got to be like
imagine if one of your teams moved.
Well, it's not even that. Imagine if every team in your city moved.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden there's no Nationals, Wizards, or Commanders. It's like Jesus, just Barron City. Well,
there was like a 3-year span where I would have been perfectly fine with the moved to London or something.
But for the city itself, it takes so much money out of the city. It takes so much care and passion out of the city, and it's got to be like I don't know how, Sorry, let me gather my thoughts here. Being in South Carolina for the past 4 years, I've seen with the improvement of the football team, like improving of the city itself, like actual stuff in the city getting improved. And I don't know if that's only because of the football team, or that's just because more money is getting put into the school. But with Oakland, like, when are people going to want to do rebranding of infrastructure and stuff like that? Like, there's no sports teams around. And I know sports aren't everything, but it makes a lot of money and it makes a lot of city decisions. So it just it sucks. It sucks for everyone in Oakland.
Yeah, and like it didn't have to happen. So that's the thing that sucks about it the most, I think, is like nobody really stepped up
to
fight for them outside of the fans. So they're kind of screwed from the beginning of the league and the owner.
I mean, they were playing there since 1968.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Mets moving.
Yeah.
That's wild. Wow.
Yep.
And it's funny. It makes me want them to. It makes me want them to fail in Vegas. Probably won't. but
I know.
makes me want them to fail.
I mean, they'll like all of their games will just have a bunch of opposing fans.
Oh yeah, there's people visiting Vegas.
Like I haven't heard. Yeah, right. I haven't heard people like excited about a baseball team in Vegas.
Nah, no, because there's just gonna be a bunch of
Probably
tourists
like
there.
it's probably like 3,000 people in Vegas. They're like, yes, a baseball team.
Yeah, probably. I'd say it just about that much. All right, so what's going on else with the MLB? Hurricanes are delaying some of these playoff games, or not playoff
Yeah,
games, but
right. I'll set the stage. All the division winners are clinched. So we got the Yankees, the Guardians, and the Astros in the American League. And we got the Phillies, the Brewers, and the Dodgers in the National League. So that's 3 spots locked up. 3 more spots, wild card spots. Padres have 1 in the National League. And then for the last 2 spots, we got the Diamondbacks, Mets, the Braves. The Braves and the Mets were supposed to play each other this week in a 3-game series. They played Monday. Braves won, which puts them 1 game back of the Mets and 1 game back of the Diamondbacks. Then it started raining for 2 days in a row. Both of the games got postponed. And now, because Major League Baseball did not leave more than 1 day in between the last day of the regular season and the playoffs starting, they have to play a doubleheader on Monday to determine playoff season.
Oh.
So the Mets will fly from Atlanta to Milwaukee to play the Brewers this weekend. And if the Braves can stay within a game of them, then they will fly back to Atlanta on Monday, play 2 more games. And if they hold their postseason position, then they will fly either out to San Diego or back to Milwaukee on Tuesday to start the playoff.
Jeez. So the Mets are getting screwed here.
It is. Well, yes and no, because like it also sucked for the Braves so the Mets have more of a baseball advantage here because they're not going to have to face one of the Braves' best pitchers. Although it sounds like the Braves are realigning their rotation so that they might. Chris Sale he's going to win the NL Cy Young, which is best pitcher in the league. And from what I read earlier, it seemed like they're going to save him for Monday for one of the Mets games and not use him this weekend. But originally, it seemed like they weren't going to face either Sale or Max Fried, who's their other really good pitcher who's pitching tonight. But yeah, it's a disaster, and MLB is so stupid. Like, you're the only sport that has rainouts.
Yeah.
You're the only sport that has this many games.
Yeah.
How could you only leave 1 day in between the regular season and the playoffs starting? So like, I think it's funny because I hate them both, and I love like listening to them complain. If it was my team, I would be freaking out. I'd be like, this is absolutely ridiculous. We have to deal with this. And like now, if the Braves pitch Chris Sale on Monday, then he might not even be able to pitch at all in the first round of the playoffs. So like your best pitcher is just completely neutralized because of rain. I don't know how the chips will fall for the Mets rotation, but it makes things infinitely more complicated than it should have been. And it was all avoidable.
That's a mess.
Like it is possible that you would have to throw your best pitcher on the last day of the season just to get in the playoffs, and then you couldn't throw him, but it's not necessarily what's happening here. Like they had their rotation set for the rest of the year, and the games got all messed up. So yeah, huge failure on MLB's part. I think they'll probably change it next year, but my gosh, like what a disaster.
The Mets and the Braves both can't make it, right?
Well, they could if the Diamondbacks fall off, but they don't. Neither of them play the Diamondbacks. So the Diamondbacks are like this third entity involved that, like, is just they have a playoff spot right now. It's Padres are the 4. They've clinched that spot. They're locked in. Mets are the 5. Diamondbacks are the 6, and they're tied. And then the Braves are the 7.
7 is outside the playoffs.
Okay. So the Braves.
And they're 1 game back.
So the Braves need to win out against the Mets. And,
Not necessarily. I mean, it depends on how. So, like, the Mets play 3 against the Brewers
okay.
this weekend, and the Braves play 3 against the Royals.
Okay.
So, if they both say they both go 2-1, then yes, the Braves will have to beat them twice.
Okay.
On Monday.
Yeah.
But if the Braves go 2-1 and the Mets go 1-2, then they'll only have to beat them. Well, I don't know who has the tiebreak.
Okay.
If you're curious about it, Google the tie-breaking scenarios, because if I tried to explain every single one, then
okay.
it would be
Is there anything
podcast.
hairy on the American League?
I wouldn't say hairy, but the Detroit Tigers have gone on one of the best late season runs that we've ever seen. I think there's something crazy like 13-2 in their last 15, or 9-1 in their last 10. And this is a team that was like just hovering around 500 for most of the season. They're not very good. They have like one stud pitcher, a couple other decent arms, but their lineup sucks. They just got smoking hot at the end of this year. It passed the Twins and the Mariners for a playoff spot, and now they're a game away from clinching. So
Wow.
It's pretty cool to see. It sucks for the Twins because they're supposed to win the division this year, and now they're going to finish 4th and not make the playoffs. So it's a bummer for them because, like, as sad as Detroit is, Minnesota is also kind of sad.
Oh.
And yeah. So it's a cool story for the Tigers. I do feel bad for the Twins. Yeah, the Orioles are locked in for their spot, I think.
Yeah.
At the 4
Yeah,
seed, so
clinched.
they will host the AL wild card. Either
For the
against the
O's.
Tigers or the Royals.
I said good for the O's.
Yeah, they're a mess. They have a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
And they've had a bad, like, probably 2 months, honestly. So we'll see. You never know. But
Limping into the playoffs as
it's the definition of limping into the playoffs. Yeah.
well, that's a shame. They got a young team though.
Yeah.
They'll be fine.
Yep. I just can't, like, in like 6 years when we're like, oh, they got a young team, like, they'll be fine. Nope. No, they don't. Not anymore.
So, what's your predictions for the
Yes,
final
you do.
spots?
I think it's gonna hold the way it is. Like, this Mets team has too much like Team of Destiny vibes right now, I think, to miss the playoffs. I hate them both, so like it would be hilarious for the Mets to miss the playoffs after this like amazing run that they've had. It would also be funny for the Braves to miss the playoffs. So I don't really care. I'm not rooting for teams to miss or make the playoffs because I don't want to get myself in that situation. But yeah, I think in terms of the Tigers Royals, like who gets the 5 seed, doesn't matter that much. Well, it's the difference between going to Baltimore and going to Houston. I actually think it's a pretty big deal. Oddly enough, you would want you would want the 5 seed. The Tigers play the White Sox, so pretty big advantage there, I would say. And the Royals play the Braves, who are also fighting for a playoff spot. So based on that alone, I would predict that the Tigers will end up with the 5 seed and the Royals will end up at 6.
Okay.
Which will mean the Tigers go to Baltimore, and you'll have to face Hart Scooble in Game 1, which isn't great. That'll be a good pitching matchup. So, and then the Royals will go to Houston, who I think will probably sweep them.
Sounds about right.
In the National League, the Padres, if it holds today, the Padres will face the Mets. The Diamondbacks will go to the Brewers, which is funny because that's who they beat last year in the first round of the playoffs. So maybe some revenge there. I don't think the Diamondbacks had like a really good run, but they've cooled off as of late a bit. So I don't know. I think the Brewers are a better team. And then Mets Padres also played a couple years ago. I think the Padres are really good.
Yeah.
I think they're a lot better than the Mets. And then winner of that, well, it's complicated because we don't know who the 1 seed is yet. It's either going to be the Phillies or the Dodgers. And the Phillies have the tiebreaker, but the Dodgers are a game up right now.
Who are you
That's the
most
whole
scared
lay
of?
of the land. I'd rather not say.
Is it the Dodgers? Okay. Rather not say.
I don't think the Dodgers are that good, honestly. I'm scared of Ohtani.
Yeah.
I'm scared of Freddie Freeman. But, like, their best pitcher's out for the year. Their next best pitcher is a rookie. They don't have any lefties. So, like, obviously, they're a really good team, and I wouldn't just, like, guarantee the Phillies to win.
Yeah.
I still think it's a coin flip, but I'm not scared of them.
Okay. All right. That sounds
the way
good.
I may or may not be slightly nervous about other teams.
Oh, come on. You gotta share us here. What team you know?
I don't want any, like, I don't want series that are going to be emotional. And 3 of the 4 teams that they could see would be very emotional. I'll say that.
Mets, Braves, Padres? I don't know what would be.
Diamondbacks beat them last year.
Oh, okay.
And they had played the Padres 2 years ago, so there's history there too. So it's
Yeah,
basically
didn't the
all 4
Padres
teams that
make
they
a
could
stupid
possibly
song?
play. Oh yeah.
The Padres song? Yeah, that was that, right?
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
That's what's in that one.
Yeah. All right. So sounds like you're pretty confident though in the Phillies.
We'll see. It's so wide open this year. If they win a series, then I'll be confident.
All right.
But I don't like
Playoff baseball is a different breed.
right now.
We talk about it every year.
It is a different breed. And they have home field, at least in the first round. So someone's got to beat them at least once in Philly. And that's not easy to do.
Seems impossible.
Until game 6 and 7 and LCS.
All right.
I'm trying not to think about it because it's like they won't play till October 5th. So I haven't thought about baseball at all since, ironically enough, Monday night is when they clinched the division. And then 5 seconds later, Jaden Daniels made that throw to Terry McLaurin. And I was like, all right.
Locked in.
Baseball, you can wait 2 weeks. it's Jaden time. So yeah, I haven't paid very close attention to anything really. I mean, I keep an eye on it, obviously, but I'm not rooting for anybody to play. I'm not putting myself in that box like you did with the Heat. I've seen that happen before. Where I don't want to admit that I'm scared of anyone, and I don't want to root for some. I remember the Caps. I was like excited to play the Hurricanes in the playoffs one year, and they lost in 7 games. So,
all right, that
I
makes
have
sense.
my preference, and I won't admit it.
That's fair. I think that makes sense. And I won't pry you anymore. I won't force you to make any more picks.
Okay.
I think that's it, right? That's all we got. Oh, Chris,
That's all I got. Yeah,
the Phillies are in Washington this weekend. You should try to go see them before
they are. I might go tomorrow. The weather sucks, and it's also like, I don't know, the games just don't really matter.
Yeah, that's fair.
So
that's a good point. All right. Well, thank you all for listening. I think we've exhausted our time here, and we'll see everyone to recap everything come Tuesday.